Developments out there on the road. Criselda Lewis has been manning the roadblocks with the police. Criselda?
Well, that's right. A very good evening to you once again, Tepiso. As you can see, this chopper that is about to arrive now, the provincial police commissioner, them trying to find a perfect place to land at this particular point. He's also going to be joining General Mawela. Will be joining this roadblock at the moment. And you would know it's quite important as well, especially during this time, for those in particular in charge of the law enforcement agencies in the country to be part of such roadblocks, to show, I would guess, in this particular instance, leadership, especially because, Tepiso, what the South African Police Service are dealing with at the moment in terms of non-compliance would include issues of non-compliance relating to COVID-19. And that's what we're hearing from the South African Police Service. They are dealing with major challenges of non-compliance at this stage. And we do now bring in K. Makubela for a second here. We'll just talk to him very briefly while my colleague Tabiso Paki will stay on those visuals with us. K. Makubela, the spokesperson. I know that I'll be speaking to General Mawela very shortly, but of course you've had quite a tough time, Mr. Makubela, in terms of getting people to comply, in particular with the COVID-19 regulations.
Yes, indeed, but what I can tell you, the chopper is coming, then just talk to the PC.
All right, we'll speak to the provincial commissioner very shortly, and we're hoping, Tepiso, that we'll be able to grab him as soon as he arrives here at the moment. They were just trying to find a perfect place for him to land at this particular point. We'll try to get towards that direction. And, you know, at this particular time, I think what would be most important, Tepiso, is that we can't go through this particular point, and we'll try and get towards the direction where the provincial police commissioner is, and we'll just speak to him, of course, about you know, some of the issues that they're dealing with, in particular because the South African Police Service has been tasked with ensuring that law and order is maintained, not just in Gauteng, but of course throughout the country. And we'll try to catch him as soon as he comes through. Bear with us for a second, Tepiso. I'm sure you can tell that I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. You'll stay with us for a second there, Tepiso. All right, Tepiso, you'd see, I mean, just on this particular road itself, you know, the number of cars in Johannesburg, just to give you an idea of what you would generally see, you know, throughout Christmas. Johannesburg would be absolutely empty. I've spent, I think, about the past 16 years on Christmas Day in Johannesburg on these kinds of reports. And the cars that we're seeing on the road at this time are so much more in comparison to what we've seen over the past couple of years, in particular because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and most people at this particular time, you know, don't want to be stuck in places where they might not have an opportunity. Let's go to the provincial police commissioner. We'll walk towards that direction. Quite important there, Tepiso, to hear from him at this particular point. We'll try and fetch him from that chopper where he is, because we know he's certainly going to get very busy with the roadblocks as soon as he moves from that particular point. You'll bear with me just a little bit, Tepiso. You'd see the part that I'm walking through at the moment is obviously the helicopters had to land at a place, Tepiso, where I've had to try and manage my steps. All right, and in fact, let's join the provincial police commissioner straight off the chopper, sir. We thought we'd come and fetch you this Christmas evening. Very good evening to you. Thanks indeed, General Mawela, for your time. Quite important for you to be here this evening. Lots of cars on the road. Already there are arrests that have been made. What are some of the key challenges you've been dealing with as Gauteng police?
Yeah, obviously, the biggest challenge you are still seated with is non-compliance to the disaster management regulations. That is an issue for us. People are still partying all over, street benches and so forth. They gather in numbers. They don't observe the health protocol. Those are the main challenges. But on the road here, the roadblocks which I've already visited, the travelers were happy. They put on their mask. In the taxis, they open the windows, of which we truly appreciate. But there is a lot of vehicles which are unroadworthy. And then we have removed a lot of them. And what is worrying is that it is public transport. You find taxi drivers that are transporting our people with vehicles which are not roadworthy. So it's a concern for us. But other than that, the law enforcement agencies here in Gauteng, they are all and about. They are doing their work. Yeah. Here in Heidelberg, there we had a good bust of heroin, 5.3 kg. And 325 small packages. It clearly tells that we have arrested the right person. There were 3 suspects there, and these people we believe that these are the main distributors of this heroin. And in that roadblock there in Kempton Park there, we just arrested another one with the crystal meth. So a lot of crystal meth. So it clearly tells that our roadblocks are not in vain. Criminals, they transport illegal stuff with vehicles on the road. So people, they may feel that, we are irritating them with this roadblock. But surely we are combating crime with this roadblock, and we achieve a lot out of it.
General Mawela, how much of a burden has drunken driving been? I mean, you're working together with the Johannesburg Metro Police Department at this particular roadblock as well. We just heard that one of the individuals who was arrested was 8 times over the limit. So clearly issues of road accidents, and it's going to be a long festive season for you.
Truly, it's going to be a long festive season for us, and we are happy that this individual is arrested before he caused an accident, because who knows, maybe innocent people were going to die on the road. So we are happy, and there is a very good collaboration between us and other law enforcement agencies, including the health department, because in all these roadblocks we are supported by a nurse who is readily available to can test these people and draw blood if it needs be, so that we have a solid case when we present it to court.
General Mawela, thank you very much indeed for your time. I'm sure you'll do quite a lot of inspection. Perhaps we could have a chat with you. I'm sure our other colleagues would want to join as well. We could go ahead. So let's have a chat as we walk towards that direction. Just finally, do we have a tally for us, General, in terms of how many people have been arrested thus far since the start of the festive season?
I don't have the total figure for the festive season, but just 24 hours, our detectives have arrested over 800 wanted suspects. And then, out of that over 100, we are having 171 suspects for gender-based violence, of which 168 women are the victims and 3 children were the victims of that gender-based violence. So we are happy that even our detectives, once a case of gender-based violence is registered in our police station, it's been prioritized, and we ensure that we immediately send the officers out there to go and collect the perpetrators.
General Mawela, I think I'm going to have to let you go. My colleague Thabiso Paki will show you towards that direction where General Mawela, the Provincial Police Commissioner, of course, part of this road block here, one of 3 major ones in Johannesburg. And of course he will join this particular roadblock here, and we'll give you a tally again a bit later on, Tepi. So in terms of how many more arrests have been made, have there been any changes that have been made?